everybody, we're back for another Tuesday's Tips and Tricks. Today we're going to be planting a bog. We've had some requests for that, so we're going to do it.
Okay, so we've got this old bog here. It's a shady water garden that we're working on. We just moved fish out of it and are refilling the pond. But since we're over here, we thought we'd go ahead and plant this bog up. But it's kind of old, broken down, just time's gotten to it and worn it down. So we're going to refresh this bog. We're going to build a retaining wall kind of from where this pot is around this way. So there's an arcing retaining wall, and behind that we will fill it more full of gravel so that some plants that don't like to sit so deep can be higher up. And then on the front we'll leave it deeper so we can put plants that like to be a little bit more submerged down in here. Obviously we're in a pretty shady area, so we're going to take that into consideration when it comes time to planting. And our plant selections, they have to be things that will grow in the shade. But we kind of have a basic structural plan, and if you're going to do a new bog in your water garden, and let's say you just have a shelf and you want to put down some padding and build up a wall, a retaining wall of stone, you can backfill that with gravel and have something to plant in rather than just having your pots that want to blow over in the wind. But it's important to come up with some sort of plan. It should be noted that in this being an existing pond, we're setting this right on gravel, and under that gravel is already some padding to protect the liner. But if you're putting this on a new shelf without padding, before you lay your rocks down, put down some weed barrier you've doubled over or some extra pond liner to protect your liner from sharp edges. Building with rocks is kind of like putting together a puzzle. You're kind of piecing them and finding the ones that match and lock together. So, something else that often gets forgotten when we're landscaping, which really building a water garden or a bog and planting it up is really just landscaping for the water garden, is the hardscape. Hardscape is anything like the stones, the rocks, broken pot like we have here, anything that we're going to incorporate that is going to stay permanently, it isn't growing or living. That includes pieces like driftwood, which you can use to make a very, very natural look like tree roots coming up into the pond or fallen logs in a creek or something like that. So we're going to use a piece or two of driftwood and see what it looks like. And I like ones that have big arms sticking out and looks really wild. We built a little retaining wall here and incorporated a broken pot, which just adds more character to the scape. And then backfilled that retaining wall with well gravel, planted it up. You can go back in and fertilize with lily tablets and And it's a basic bog planting. We left a little bit deeper area that is protected from the koi over here so that we can grow our floaters and have a beautiful bog garden.
That's your Tuesday's tips and tricks. We'll see you again next week.